Zawya.co.nz, number one online trusted store of 3D printer in New Zealand since 2023. Zawya.co.nz, Creality 3D printers, laser machine, filaments and reams, laser material, parts and resins. Visit now. Zawya.co.nz.
All right, let's jump right in. We're going to break down this really cool case study. It's all about how a tiny, super specialized shop can do more than just survive. It can actually dominate against the biggest online giants out there. I mean, this has got to be the question that keeps every small business owner up at night, right? You're up against these massive companies. They've got warehouses full of stuff and prices that are just impossible to beat. So how on earth do you, the local expert, even make a dent?
Yeah, it really does feel like that classic David versus Goliath story, doesn't it? The giants, they've got the scale, they've got the pricing power, but the local shops, well, they have something totally different, something you can't just buy. And that's deep, deep niche knowledge and the trust of their local community. The real secret, though, is figuring out how to turn those advantages into a weapon.
So to see exactly how this works in the real world, we're going to dive into a pretty specific and super competitive market. We're talking high-end tech. All right, so our case study today is all about a company called Zawya Limited, and they're based out of Hamilton, New Zealand. Now, these guys sell specialized 3D printers and laser cutters, which, is a market that is just completely dominated by huge international websites. Okay, so let's get to know our David in this fight. The thing about Zawya is they aren't just some store selling boxes. Nope, they've built their entire brand identity around being the local champion for creators and makers. And this is what I find so interesting. Just look at their mission. They don't just say, hey, we sell stuff. No, they call themselves champions of New Zealand's maker culture. Think about that. That's not a sales pitch. That's who they are. It screams, this is who we serve. And look at how they talk about their value prop. Yeah, sure, competitive pricing is on the list, but it's not at the top. What comes first? Quality, local expertise, dedicated support. See, they know they can't win a race to the bottom on price. Their real strength is being that trusted local guy. Okay, so that's what they say they do, but how do they actually pull it off? This is the fun part. This is where we get to put on our detective hats and really dig into their digital playbook. Now, to really get what they're doing, you've got to understand a key marketing idea: audience segments. It's pretty simple, really. Instead of just shouting into the void hoping someone hears you, you break your market down and, well, you kind of whisper directly to very specific groups. It's all about precision, not just brute force. And here's a look at their segments. It's brilliant. They're not just targeting anyone who wants a 3D printer. No way. They're talking to the hobbyist who's making tiny miniatures for their tabletop games. They're talking to the teacher setting up a new STEM lab, the small business that needs to rapid prototype something, and even professional industrial users. Every single one of those groups has totally different problems and needs. Now, think about this. If you're one of the big global giants, you're going to spend millions and millions of dollars trying to rank for a super generic search term like this one. It's a huge, expensive net, and honestly, it's a really inefficient way to find an actual paying customer. But Zawya, they don't play that game. They do this. They go after these hyper-specific, high-intent keywords. I mean, someone searching for best 3D printer Auckland isn't just kicking tires, right? That is a local person in a specific city who is ready to pull out their wallet. It's like it's digital karate. You're using the giant's own weight and size against them. So let's see how this all comes together in the actual ads they run. Because, it's one thing to know who you're talking to, but it's a whole other challenge to know exactly what to say to them. This is it's brilliant. Look at how much work this one headline is doing. You've got the specific branded model. You've got NZ right there to build local trust. You've got two key benefits, not features, but benefits. Fast printing, low noise. And then boom, a clear call to action. It's just a masterclass in efficient copywriting. And here's another one. This is amazing. They're not just targeting a town, Glenham. They're targeting a type of person inside that town. This ad is speaking directly to a beginner, and it tackles their number one fear head on. Is this thing going to be too hard to use? Are you starting to see the pattern here? It's all about being incredibly specific and genuinely helpful. And they take these same ideas, these principles of trust and urgency, and bake them into their shorter ads for quick, rapid impact. Just look at these short-form ads. NZ stock, That little phrase right there is huge. It instantly crushes that fear of, oh man, is this going to take 6 weeks to ship from overseas? Then you've got limited time offer and buy now to create that little nudge of urgency. Every single word has a purpose. There's absolutely no wasted space.
Okay, so we've seen how they do it, but now for the really big question. Why? Why does this hyper-local, super specific strategy work so well? Really, it all comes down to a few key things. First, they build trust with local signals, like promising an NZ warranty. Second, they're selling the result, the benefit, not just a list of boring technical specs. They create just enough urgency to get you to act now. And maybe the most important part, they make every single one of those customer groups feel like the ad was written personally just for them. And this right here is the lesson for any small business out there. You are never going to outspend the giants. It's impossible, but you can outsync them. You don't need a massive budget. What you need is a laser-sharp focus on who your customer really is and what they actually, truly need from you.
So here it is, the whole playbook boiled down into 4 simple steps. 1. Hyper-localize your keywords. 2. Know your customer segments like the back of your hand. 3. Write ads that sell the solution, not just the product. And 4. Build in that local trust and a little bit of urgency. That's it. That's the winning formula.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big, thought-provoking question, doesn't it? In a world where everything is getting more automated, more impersonal, could this deep, human understanding of a local customer be the one true competitive advantage? The one thing the global giants can never copy? You know, it just might be the ultimate trump card.